Hello everybody, welcome to the very first Glen Destruction action figure review. Today we're going to be taking a look at the NECA Ultimate Guardian Predator, which has just now started hitting the shelves. And I am extremely thrilled to jump into this figure right here. I've had it for a few days, and it is time now to give it an official review and a little comparison to the, I want to say it was the 2012 variant. So let's get started without further ado. First things first, let's take a look at the box art. NECA hasn't shied away from having some of the best artwork recently for these Predators, and this is probably the best of all of them, honestly, with the action sequence of our Guardian Predator, who is battling off some xenomorphs, and we also have this bat alien. Now, I'm not going to over-speculate on anything, but man, I hope that this is going to be an action figure. You know, maybe if we knock on NECA's door enough, you know, on Twitter, maybe they'll hear us out. They've been doing a lot of clever things with the xenomorphs and the alien line, the Kenner line. I'm hoping that is going to be something. On the side, we just have Predator 2, the 30th anniversary. Same for both sides, except for the fact that it does have the number 4. So that is also really cool. They keep these all nicely uniformed, and it looks amazing when you display them all together on the shelves. The very top, and then the back. We have all of our other Lost Predators in the line that are coming soon. I want to say the Warrior Predator is next. I know we've seen some images of him, but I think that we got a teaser for Shaman, and then we'll just leave Boar, Snake, and then we have yet to see anything about our new Elder, which is pretty well confirmed. And then I do know that City Hunter, there's supposed to be a battle damage version that's coming, and I'm thrilled about that because of the fact that we saw that, I think Toys R Us released it years ago, but I passed on it. I didn't have a Toys R Us that was near an area, and I just wasn't willing to pay the online prices or go down there at the time. You can go ahead and pause the video and read that if you'd like. On the inside, got this amazing image of Guardian Predator. A little fun fact, if you didn't know, that this was actually going to be the original mask for the Predator in Predator 1. I think that they went ahead and scrapped it because of the fact that this gives away a little bit of an idea of what he would have looked like, just a mechanical version of his face, as to where the other one with Jungle Hunter, or Anytime, whatever you want to call him, is a lot more simplistic and kind of leaves more to the imagination of what possibly the Predator, or the creature we saw in the movie, would have looked like. Alright, here we are with Guardian Predator outside the box. Off the bat, I want to say this is a phenomenal figure and a great improvement from the older ones they had done. If you haven't seen or never owned the original variant, I will bring a comparison in, and we will take a look at how the improvements have been made and what changes have been made overall to make this figure different from the original one. A lot of people I know they will complain and they'll harp on how NECA figures have issues, you know, and can be problematic at times. But I can vouch as a longtime collector that there have been improvements made, and I'm satisfied with the fact that they have made step-ups. This figure does have its flaws, and we'll jump into those flaws a little later, but I found the best one I felt like on the shelf, and I think I made a good decision. The Guardian Predator, I think there was a total of 10 of them at Walmart, and I scoured through them. I saw some that had some very spotty netting that just didn't match the mold, honestly. And I've missed having a store to go to that can actually look and observe at each and every one of the figures that they have there and try to find the best one. You know, I don't mind buying from online shops, but the thing is that there'll be times where you order from, like, say, Amazon, or back when Toys R Us was shipping things out, and you'd get sent one that either had like 2 left hands or just terrible paint apps. You know, obviously, you know, if you order from something like that, you're not going to get somebody that's going to look at these things and try to find the flaws, you know, and see what should and what shouldn't be sent out, unless you're ordering from a hobby shop or collector shop, or somebody that actually is a collector themselves and is looking to make sure that their buyers get the best quality of what gets sent their way. The helmet of this guy right here has a little, I want to say it's damage marks. This wasn't on the original variant. I do want to say that the original variant had more of just a strong silver metallic. But this can be implied that this is an older variant of the Guardian Predator, that he has aged a bit. Have this nice kind of this dark metallic. Has a little bit of a touch of a, I don't know if the camera is picking up on it, but there is a hint of brown even mixed in there. Flip him around to the back. And I want to point out too, before I go any further, that this was not originally on him. I just have had this displayed on him on his back because I prefer a little variant. I'll touch on this in a moment when we get to the accessories, but long story short, you can put on whatever you want to right there. You have two options. We have like this fleshy white color that's kind of fused with like this brownish and red on the body. They've given all these figures a lot of decent variation. I can't say that we really could tell much about their skin color. I mean, we had an idea in the movie, but because of the lighting and the way things were, it was kind of hard to make out. You know, there are pictures of the actual suits that are out there on the internet, but NECA has definitely done what they can to go ahead and make these figures and these characters have their own unique and distinctive looks and designs. And I'm a big fan that they just did not copy and paste totally everything from the City Hunter. Our mold for the Guardian Predator is pretty well essentially the same mold that we've seen for the standard City Hunter. There hasn't been a whole lot of changes, really. There are a few things that they have took away. This is something that I noticed on the Scout Predator, but I mean, other than that, though, there's not a lot really to say about the detail, with the exception of the head, which is where things do differ. When I talk about things they've taken away, now I want to point out that this little hole right here is on the side of his leg, and that was because of the net gun. I don't think, no, there's nothing on the other side, but I can overlook that, honestly, just because I don't remember if he had a net gun, honestly. I don't even remember if the original one had it. I don't think it did, but we didn't have that hole at the time. One thing, though, that does stick out to me, and it's been kind of bothersome, is I don't know why we can't get this little peg back. This peg right here was great, you know, I loved equipping my Predators up to the max. I also do want to point out, though, this little thing right here that holds in the disc is gotten a lot better over the years. The old Predators were notorious because if you attempted to move the Predator or say anything like that, that would pop out. I've got that completely snug in place. I don't even know if I want to pull it out, honestly, because I'd probably struggle to get it in there, but it does wrap around the disc completely well, and I'm pretty satisfied with the fact that they have just nailed that and have made progress as far as making that manageable, because I don't remember having that issue exactly with the McFarlane Predator back in the day, but it took NECA a few swings to exactly just to get it right, honestly, or to hit it right, honestly. But in the head, though, this is where this thing does excel right here. I mean, entirely. I mean, they've nailed the complete essence of the the Guardian helmet, whatever you want to call it. This was the helmet that the Celtic Predator was based on. Overall, though, they've done a great job nailing it. I don't think there are really any key differences between the original version and this one. We'll see that in a moment. But the back, though, this is definitely one thing that I'm glad became a standard also for NECA's Predators, is the dreadlocks are all individual, like the Hot Toys Predators. Back in the day, you know, you buy these figures and it would just be like clumps, you know, and if you attempted to forcefully just pull them apart, you might damage the paint, you might damage the dreadlocks. NECA has done a great job of jumping in and doing a wide variety of accessories, and that I'm proud of. Let's start and take a look at the new accessory. We've got this arm cannon. This right here, I'll admittedly say that I think it's awesome, but I'm not exactly like a huge fan of putting it on the Predator just because of the fact that it is kind of an annoyance at points. And I almost broke his wrist gauntlet, flapped the little opening on it. I almost broke it, whatever you want to call it. These little side things, I had no idea what they were initially until I looked at the box art and I just kind of put two and two together. NECA has been notorious for including something but not giving us, you know, say instructions of how things work. A lot of this does boil down to common sense and just observation and looking at the actual thing. But pop this into place and we have like our blast effects, and I think that is really cool. Our spears, we have two different variations, and this again became another norm for us. We have our collapsed version, and we have our full-length spear. Next we have our bomb, and then we have our med kit. Now, I had no idea where this was going to go, honestly, when I first got the figure. I was kind of like looking around like, am I missing something, you know? And then as I kind of fidgeted around the figure, this popped off, and then suddenly I remembered, oh yeah, you can take these off nowadays. We got our hands, we've got our open variants, and then for that we've got like a gripping one right there. There's actually two of these right here, and this is actually just a little cover on his wrist. This is for the little wrist cannon, and this has become a new standard too with these Predators, and I thought it was cool. Another small detail they're paying attention to. But we have our disc that is actually in action, because if you remember when it was thrown on Predator 2, it kind of opened up a bit. And then we have our blast effect for our shoulder cannon. I think that they actually did a better job than the promo pictures. Now, when I saw the promo pictures, a lot more of the paint apps on this was just a lot more defined and just a lot darker. Here it blends a lot more. And I might post some pictures of that if you haven't seen it, but it was extremely ugly, I thought, back in the day. And they went ahead and upped it up. It is exactly the City Hunter mold, just with a new paint apps and new highlights to it. As promised, here's a comparison between both the Guardian Predators. They pretty well have the same mold. There maybe are a few minor differences throughout the figure. However, though, the most changes are going to be with the paint apps, and the paint apps are far superior on this newer one. It makes a better use of a variety of colors, more darker shades, and because of that, it just makes the figure pop a bit more than what this one did. And as you can tell, that the paint apps throughout the body are pretty well just a lot more flat, especially on the helmets too. Also, there's a distinctive difference between the helmets. This one added some battle damage to it, as to this one's kind of just a pure silver. Just pure silver. There's not a lot of variation going on. But this one had its issues. As I mentioned earlier, NECA was notorious for just having spotty netting, and this is a good example because if you can tell that the netting is just off from where the actual net mold would be, and it just looks really odd and ugly. But this was still some of the best we were getting at the time. At the time, NECA had just changed molds. They were just kind of turning things up, and they weren't quite on the level that they are now, but it definitely was a game changer at this time. My final take on this figure: it has been worth the price, and I'm satisfied with it. NECA has gone above and beyond. They've corrected some of their errors. I talked about earlier that, yeah, a lot of people harp on NECA, but while we harp on NECA, we do it so we let them know that they can do things better, and they have been taking things up a notch. Do we still face problems? Yes, but I think that they've come a long way. In 10 years, I'm satisfied with what they've done, and who knows where they'll be in another 10 years with this license, implying that they keep it. But that's another story besides the point. The fact that NECA has just produced figure after figure after figure, and they've given us so much more than McFarlane Predators ever could. This review is going to be the first of many reviews. I have a lot planned. If you haven't checked out my Instagram page, I'm Going Destruction Toys. I do toy photography. I've done some vector art of, say, Godzilla characters. I've been experimenting with a few different things, and now I'm bringing reviews. And this is something that's been on the table for a while. I just didn't have the equipment together. I didn't have a camera. I didn't have editing software, and now I'm finally in a position to where I feel comfortable. So I'm going to build from here, and I'm going to bring you guys more. And thank you for watching, and thank you for the support for anybody who has complimented me on Instagram. I've met some great people, some people that reached out to me, and it's just flattering to hear the things they say. And I can't to say thank you enough in return at all, because it's meant a lot, and I'm going to keep doing this on. So be sure to check me out on Instagram if you haven't, if you're new to my channel. Thanks for watching.